thank you so much, thinkLA, for putting on this very exciting event. I think that this is incredible that you guys are recognizing that marketing to women needs to be addressed. We at Pop Sugar have been creating content for women and experiences for women over the past 8 years, and we definitely know that women definitely need to be talked with in a very different way than men need to. And it's not just a gender thing, it's also a vertical thing. So we create content around fitness, fashion, shopping, beauty, very different experiences out there. And as we are creating these content experiences, what we've realized is that each vertical needs to be addressed very differently. So it's not one size fits all, and it's not just around marketing for women versus marketing for men.
So we'd like for you guys to text one word that represents your personal relationship with your phone. It can be positive, it can be negative, it's anonymous, so it can be honest. As you guys are texting, we're gonna populate a live word cloud, and obviously the more popular the words are gonna grow. And we're gonna give this a couple of minutes. So I mean, these words obviously represent a really strong bond with your phone.
So the rapid adoption of connected devices has presented significant opportunities for both consumers and marketers alike. When comparing consumer time spent on mobile versus the marketing dollars spent on mobile, there's a huge disparity. So given the explosive growth of mobile adoption, this shift presents a real opportunity for us to secure incremental dollars as spending catches up with our behavior. But what's the best way to connect with her? That's really what we wanted to know. So our goals for this research study were to understand how women use their mobile devices, and specifically, what were the key differences between men and women, how they feel about it, and how they use their smartphones and tablets, how her behavior impacts the way she communicates, connects, and shops, and finally, how she interacts with and responds to mobile advertising.
Consistently, all the women in our study, when they talked about their relationship with their phone, they used really emotional terms that you would use for a human relationship. One woman in the group even looked at her phone during the focus groups and said, "I love you, but you make me crazy sometimes." And the women took it a step further. They even called this their ideal relationship because the phone asks nothing of them. Its sole purpose is to fill her every need. And all it asks in return is for sometimes just to please recharge me. 91% of women across generations, this was from millennials through boomers, just said that they're generally less than thrilled with any kind of intrusive mobile ad unit and that they create a negative experience for your brand. But the good news is there is a way to break into her sort of inner circle. Women have told us they actually still welcome your ads on her beloved device. They know ads can help them in the shopping journey, but on this medium versus any other medium where you're messaging her, her expectations are really, really high. But to help, we've developed 4 rules of engagement. These are ways you can kind of connect with her on these platforms she loves so much. You're gonna notice that the terms we used are not unlike the sort of core tenets of a successful human relationship. But this is a relationship we're talking about. So first, ask her permission before she lets you hang around. Make sure she wants you there. Close to half of women smartphone owners said that they're more welcoming to ads that let them control the experience. She says it has to catch my interest and then I can choose to click on it. Second, share her interest. Keep it real and keep it relevant. An ad is only effective if it's something relevant to her and her life. She wants to feel that you're speaking to her personally. She says, an ad should also be relevant to my needs and my purchase history. 52% of the women said they're more interested in ads that are relevant to the content they're already immersed in, so contextual relevance is really key on mobile. And 56% were more likely to look at ads about products they already use, so retargeting, remessaging, really working in the mobile space. And when it comes to millennials, because this is kind of the me generation, they have even less patience for irrelevant messaging, muddled messages, or anything that isn't immediately relevant to her and her needs. The third, just like a human relationship, try to look your best. Inspire her with visuals. Remember, this is a woman who's spending a lot of time on visual platforms like Pinterest and Instagram, so try to show more than you can tell. One woman said, I don't like ads with too much information. Catch her eye, get her to click through to another destination for more information. Don't try to get the whole story out in your ad unit. They told us they like simple and tasteful ads, and 52% of the women in our study said they would notice ads that had colorful and bright visuals. We're very visual shoppers. And finally, engage her in conversation. She actually wants you to start a running dialogue with her. Ask her opinion, encourage her to share your message, reward her for engaging with a discount or a chance to win a prize, and 41% of the women said that they actually like offers that are relevant to their location. One woman at the end of the study made it clear, hey, at the end of the day, it's all about what's in it for me. So when you think about these rules of engagement, the big takeaway here is the mobile environment is an intimate one. It's a two-way conversation. It's different than other mediums where you're trying to message her. So the rules of engagement are also unlike any other medium. Make her the core of your message, put her first, just like a personal relationship, and you will make a personal connection, and hopefully she will welcome you into her inner circle.
So a quick quiz. Which do you think is bigger? Married moms, married women, no kids, single moms, or single women, no kids? What's the biggest group in the United States? Shout it out. Okay, you're right. Single women, no kids. Didn't used to be the case. This is a big shift for us. In the Curve report, the last edition of the Curve report, we had a lot of data that we called out talking about this new group that we call the indie woman. She's a single woman, no kids, living alone. And solo dwelling across the board, not just for women, but for men also, is rapidly on the rise. And that speaks to the idea that people are waiting longer to get married, but they also are finding strength in individuality. It doesn't mean that it will change the landscape of having families and children, but it does mean that we have to start thinking about these women in particular in a different way. I think the other thing that's important to think about when we're thinking about indie women in particular is that indie women is a state of mind, as Cindy Gallup says, and it's a moment in time. So just because they're single, living solo right now, doesn't mean that 5 years from now, these aren't women who will be married with kids or in relationships with kids or just having kids on their own. So that we need to market to them in a new way and think about this indie women mindset. I think the other thing is that there are a lot of women, probably many sitting in this room, who would consider themselves in the indie women mindset, who may be married with 2 kids at this point, myself included. Here we have a few examples of some businesses that we think are really excelling in connecting with indie women. JetBlue, Airbnb, Zipcar, FreshDirect. And the characteristics that make sense to this kind of indie single woman is that they speak to the fluidity of life, the flexibility of life. You can go anywhere when you want, Zipcar, JetBlue, Airbnb. FreshDirect allows you to buy things in smaller quantities. It also calls on this idea that we have to rethink the way that we do business, right? Costco is the opposite of what single women are looking for when they're trying to buy Costco. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a Costco solution for a single woman. Being able to buy just go in with friends, be able to do it in a community or co-op setting. De Beers came out with the left-hand ring, which was absolutely genius for the affluent indie woman. And Citibank has that commercial that's running now, a woman going on a romantic weekend. It actually turns out that she's climbing to the tallest peak of any mountain that anyone has ever seen. So, I think that it just speaks to the way that we connect. Also, it's not just the businesses themselves, it's the way that they portray themselves online and in all of their branding. Beautiful, very easy interfaces, white space, the style, all of the style elements that we use to connect with people in general, but also happen to appeal very dramatically to this woman.
You all have perspectives on reaching moms. Any thoughts on how to reach the indie women we found out about today, or work that's successfully doing that?
I think the same tenets hold true for that. Like I said, I currently work on Target, and we have a mom target, but the millennial indie woman is a secondary target. And I would say the same things hold true. Great insights, digging into what a particular person loves, whether it's a mom or an indie woman, is going to get insightful advertising. I think some of the content that was mentioned earlier is really great. Like getting into what are they watching, what are they doing, and truly doing it, and giving them something that feels relevant. I'm not, I'm blanking on brands that are getting it exactly right right this second, but I think it's all about, again, great storytelling, authenticity, and working with the right insights. Because indie women aren't all the same either. There's like ones that are really into fashion, ones that are really into sports. Like there is different ways that you talk to that swath of women, just the way you slice up individuals in different ways,
I think it all comes down to listening to whoever your audience is. And it's the mental shift from reaching those women to connecting with those women and finding the way to connect with whoever it is, whether it's the indie woman, the minivan mom, the boomer woman. You really need to listen and understand what life stage they're at, and it's not about the chronological age, but what's important in her life at that time. I think it was Catherine that said, this is a particular window of time for some of the indie women. They're not going to be indie women forever. But understanding that, knowing that, acknowledging that as you connect with them.
I thought the Joan of Arc, Cleopatra comment was great for the indie women. And I would say if there's going to be a trend moving forward, and that's a fast-growing, huge segment, yes, they're diverse, but they're united by not making the conventional choice and being brave and having their point of view out there and not caring what other people think. I have a feeling that will probably more brands doing that would be good. And raising another generation of more of those women looks like that's just going to get bigger and bigger.